Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session of live counter review using technical analysis. So for today's session, the flow will be same as per usual. First up, I'll go through the US economic calendar. Then afterwards, I'll go through some of the indices and commodities. And then afterwards, I'll talk about some of the popular sectors like the Mag 7, the US banks, semiconductors, as well as EVs. Then last but not least, I'll also touch on also try to cover as much the counters that you all have in the Q&A. Yeah, so if you all have any questions, any counters that you all want to look at, you can just drop it in the Q&A. Okay, so without further ado, I'll begin. Tonight, there's just pending home sales and some bill auctions. Then 1:15 a.m. There's President Trump speaking. Then still a lot of Fed speaks going on throughout this week. So Williams, Bostic, Jefferson speaking. Tomorrow there's also Fed call-ins at 9 p.m. Then there's the conference about consumer confidence that's at 10 p.m. as well as jobs job openings at 10 p.m. as well. Then on to Wednesday, Goolsbee speaking, API core inventories at 4:30 a.m. Some further Fed speaks in the morning. OPEC meeting Wednesday 6 p.m. Then there's also the ADP non-farm numbers at Wednesday 8:15 p.m. Then some manufacturing PMI data at 9:45 as well as 10 p.m. The usual core inventory is 10:30 p.m. Going to Thursday, there's the usual jobless claims at 8:30 p.m. And Friday, will be the most important one, will be the non-farm payrolls. So that will be out at 8:30 p.m. on Friday. So that will be the important one. And afterwards, there's S&P Global Services PMI at 9:45 p.m. and ISM non-manufacturing PMI at 10 p.m. Yeah, so quite a lot of in terms of data, quite a lot of data coming out this week. But I think the most important one will be the non-farm payrolls. So that will be on Friday, 8:30 p.m. to watch out for. Then I'll move on to the first one is Bitcoin. So I think for Bitcoin, currently looks like some rebound taking place near the support area, but I think for now there could be some slight resistance. Price is retesting this red line, the 10 MA level. So currently above the 5 MA, the blue color line, but via retest of the 10 MA, there might be some short resistance. Over here, as price broke this level around 112K last Thursday. So then the next resistance level around 114K as well as 115K. Then for now, support is the recent swing low around 109K. Then further downwards is close to 107.5K. So for now, I think Bitcoin probably some sideways kind of movement perhaps. Yeah, most likely for now. In terms of weekly, still facing some resistance along the weekly 10 MA and also below the 5 MA as well. There's around 113K above should have some resistance. Yeah, so I think we could see some sideways price action for now. Yeah, next one moving to Dow Jones, I think still trending well. The good thing is that this 45.7K breakout level is still holding as support. Previously, this was a consolidation and then price broke out. Retest managed to hold as support. Last week we had a bit of a dip throughout the month around like Tuesday to Thursday, and then close to 45.7K, as well as the 20 MA level. There's still some support and a bit of a rebound Friday. So I think it's still the structure is still holding well. As long 45.7K is still holding, I think we should it still looks bullish. For now, I think this week wise we could see maybe some range bound trading after the pullback last week. So there could be some resistance close to the swing high 46.7K. Then afterwards will be around 47K. So maybe some sideways, a bit of a sideways consolidation for now for Dow Jones. Then next one for Nasdaq, I think last week we have a bit of a pullback below the 5 and 10 day moving averages. So Tuesday pullback was Thursday, then a bit of a rebound on Friday. So I think for now we could see some. I think we could see some sideways price action as well. Could be something similar to like the previous kind of pullbacks we've seen in the past, where uh like similar over here there's a bit of a pullback, and then afterwards you just see some gradual rebound around the way, then moving a bit sideways again. Yeah, so I think for now there could be some resistance around 22.5 to about 22.8K level. Then support wise, if it goes uh if it goes towards the lows again, I think we could see some support close to 22K, which is this swing low, as well as the 20 MA level, and then towards about 22.3K. So maybe some sideways consolidation as well. And next one I'll talk about is the S&P 500. Also something similar. Last week, we had a pullback from this short-term trendline resistance, then price broke below the 5 and 10 MA, then did a retest of this upward support line, this blue line, which has been holding since around start of June, end of May, start of June, then a bit of a rebound on Friday. So I think similarly we could see some sideways price action. For now, yeah, the 5 and 10 MA level, a bit of resistance could be around 6,630, 6,640 level over here. Yeah, then afterwards will be close to 6,700. Yeah, so I think for now, it's a bit, yeah. So it could be some support should still hold around the 20 MA level, 6,170 to this upwards trend line support 6,600. Then above 6,650 to 6,700 could be some reason. So maybe some sideways as well. Next one is gold. Gold still trending very well. Yeah, so I think last week was largely quite sideways, but overall still maintaining at the 5 MA this blue line over here. And then today went to make a new high again. Yeah, so I think for now we still look to be bullish. And next level could be around 3,850 to about 3,900 area over here. Yeah, so as long as price is still maintaining the around finding support along the 5 MA, I think it's still very strong in the short term. Yeah, and should still follow the trend. The next one is WTI oil. I think for now still very much range bound. So still quite a lot of resistance when it gets above 65 to about 67. This area, I think still resistance. Then for now, some support could be around 63 to about 64 area. Yeah, if it forms a bit of a higher low. On the weekly chart, price of last week broke above the 5 and 10 MA, which has been holding as a bit of resistance since start of August. So I think if it does the back test towards this 5, 10 MA on the weekly, around 63.3 to 63.8, there could be some short-term support. Yeah. Then for the VIX, nothing special. Still holding this range over here. Above 17 to 19 is like the resistance. Then when it gets to around 15 or lower, then we see some support. So it's still just moving the range for VIX. Then next one for copper. Yeah, so slowly trending upwards. So since the break of this 4.7 level price trending upwards, like some resistance for now could be around this swing high 4.95 to around 5.1, and then some short-term support for now will be like 4.7 to 4.75, this area where price broke out of and as well as some of the current levels of the short-term moving averages for now. So that's for copper in general. Okay, I'll move on to the first one is the Max 7 sector. So I'll go through this ETF first, the Roundhill Max 7 ETF Max, which sort of tracks the sector. So you can see that recent performance still very strong since the breakout of this around 61 price trending upwards. And last Tuesday we saw a bit of a slight pullback over here. So I think for now maybe we could see a bit of a sideways consolidation. I think support should still hold around around this gap areas like 63, around 20 MA level. Also the swing lows around here 63 to 62.5. Here should be some support. Then resistance could be like 65 to the recent high around 65.7. So I think we could see a bit of a sideways consolidation for now. for this Roundhill Max 7 ETF, yeah, in general. But overall, it's still holding pretty well the uptrend. Okay, then I'll move on to some of the individual counters. Okay, so first one is Meta platforms. So I think for Meta, I think uh it also looks like another retest of this 740 level, but in terms of the price action, a bit weak. Last week we've seen a bit of a weakness because uh around the previously when price retested this previous resistance around 730, 740, right over here. Then there was a period of consolidation with some resistance at this 760. Then price broke above it. Then last week did a retest but couldn't hold as support. So price continued went lower. And I think that in the short term it could be breaking down a bit down of this upward support line as well. So I think back at this 740, back at this level again, it could be some weakness in the short term as price is also below some of the short term moving averages for now and below this 760 level. So I think for now we could see maybe it could go back to test this around this swing low area again, 720 to 740 for this is a support area. Yeah. And then for now, resistance I think could be around for now maybe around around 755 onwards to about 760 for now. Yeah, so we could see maybe some price only go a little bit lower or show a bit of weakness. On the weekly chart, last week closed below the 5 and 10 MA on the weekly. So if it doesn't go back above if it doesn't go back above 750s, then I think we could see some slight weakness. Yeah, from the kind of price action we saw last week. And next one for Apple, I think Apple is still relatively strong. So since the last week, it was just moving a bit sideways since the break of this 241 resistance level, and it's still holding above this 249 swing high level. So I think still pretty good. One of the stronger ones right now for the tech names. Yeah, so I think could be just moving in the possible bullish flag over here. Some resistance around 256, 257 for now. Yeah, and I think short-term support wise could be looking at 249, which was previous swing high, as well as another level of support could be if it does retest the 10 ME, which is currently rising around 247 for now. So yeah, it could be doing some short-term sideways consolidation here first. Yeah, then afterwards the next level of resistance around 259, 260, which was the previous all-time high December last year. Yeah, so Apple still looking quite good in terms of the chart. As long as it holds this 249 as well as the 10 MA level, I think it still looks okay and possibly could still trend higher afterwards. Next one for Amazon, there's a bit of weakness recently. So for Amazon, in terms of the chart, there was a bit of a breakdown last week down from this a bit of an ascending triangle formation over here. Yeah, and also the another thing is that it tested this 220 around 221, 222 swing low level and still some weakness below that as well. So I think it could possibly see some little bit of further downside. I think yeah, it could possibly test. I think I was looking at it just now. It could possibly test around 200 MA levels. Then maybe we could see some rebound from there previously. And so last time we tested, I think was in end of May this year. There was a bit of a retest. Then they rebounded. Then after the earnings drop over here, we're close to it. Then rebounded. So we're quite near it. Currently it's around 214, 215 level. Yeah, so I think that could be some level of support. And also this swing low previously around 211 should be a swing support as well. So if it does come a bit lower, there could be some short-term support for a bounce. Yeah, then for now, some resistance around 222 as the 5 MA level perhaps. And maybe around the next one around 226 about there. And so Amazon a bit weak in the short term. But if it does test on the support levels down there, I think we could see a bit of rebound. Next one is Netflix. And for Netflix, I think it's just moving a bit sideways, pretty much sideways over here. The weekly MAs are just sort of just sticking together, converging. And then yeah, since start of August price has just been moving side between like close to 1,200 to 1,260 over there. So I think for now, nothing much going on. Just should be still sticking around in this range consolidation for now. Then for Alphabet, I think last week some weakness last week when it broke below this. So previously it was very strong, trending along the 5 MA. Then start of the week it broke below this 252 level, this resistance level. It popped above for like 1-2 days. Then quarter hold also break below the 5 MA, 10 MA. So some pullback along the way, and then went to fill this gap over here around 242. So some slight rebound over here, and then last Friday we tested this around 249, this 5 MA, and find a bit some resistance. So I think for now, two like 249 to around 252 area, this should be some resistance, which is currently the 5 MA, 10 MA levels, with price is currently slightly under, as well as the breakdown of the horizontal level that took place last week. Then short-term support, I think, will be the recent swing low around 240, this area previously, because there was a bit of a consolidation over here previously. And then this swing low last week is the 20 MA level. So I think short-term wise, we could be seeing some sideways consolidation for Alphabet. Yeah. Then could be waiting for the reconnect of this 5 MA and the weekly as well, which I think has been holding as support for quite some time since end of June. Yeah, so it could be just waiting for a retest of this 5 MA and the weekly. So overall, it still looks good. Overall, the longer term trend still looks strong, but perhaps just some short term weakness and maybe some sideways consolidation. Yeah, as long as this 240 level holds, I think should be still okay. And next one is Microsoft. Yeah, so for Microsoft, I think nothing much, still just a bit of just still sideways consolidation with resistance still holding at this 518, 590 level, where this previous support breakdown level. And yeah, if you can hold this 506 as a higher low, then I think it will be quite good, because there was a bit of resistance over here around 510 previously. Over here, then price has been holding here as a bit of support. So if you can only hold, then I think there could be a chance of this breakout of 518 afterwards, then it will look better. Yeah, then on the weekly, also starting to look a bit better if you can hold the 5 and 10 MA levels on the weekly. Previously was the pullback, during the pullback it went under the pullback resistance. Currently we're seeing a bit of rebound over here, so you can hold this level along with this around 510, then it will be there could be a chance of a breakout of 520 now. So for now, still will be sideways first. Then next one. Yeah, so that's it for I think for the tech names. Yeah, so I think for the Max 7, generally in the index price still look pretty strong. Just a bit, could be doing a bit of a sideways in the short term after some pullback from the swing high last week. Then next one, I'll move on to the financial names. So this one is the XLF, the Financial Sector Fund. So I think it still looks like a wedge. It still looks like a rising wedge upwards, still trending well. A bit of generally has been moving quite sideways, but structure wise still good, as still holding 53, the breakout over here as support. Then just moving between 53 to like around 54 lah. So just moving sideways with this trend line still holding as a bit of resistance. So could be still seeing a bit of a sideways kind of price unless we see a clean break above 54 over here. Then we could be seeing further upside. But for now, just looks still a bit sideways. Okay, next one, then I'll move on to some of the individual counters. First one, JP Morgan. So JP Morgan, I think, is still trending pretty well since the breakout of this 300 level. Price is still holding the short-term movement, which is around here, which is currently around 312, 310. So I think as long as this holds we could be seeing there could be still some further upside ahead lah. Yeah. Yeah, since it also broke trying to break out of this 315, 316 resistance, which tested multiple times along the way. So I think it still looks quite good in the chart. Next one is Bank of America. Yeah, so for Bank of America, I think this also looks pretty good since the breakout of this 50.8 level, still forming higher highs and also holding the short-term 10 MA as a support. So a bit of a sideways consolidation, but still okay. I think just looks like it just consolidating side 51.50 to about 52.70 for now. I think if it breaks this recent again, there could be a chance that it could continue to trend upwards. So still looking good. And next one, Wells Fargo. Yeah, Wells Fargo also looking good. For also after multiple tests of resistance of this 83, there was a breakout now, and then still holding as support. So currently I think as long as it holds this $83 level, we should be still okay. Yeah, the short term resistance will be the swing high of 86.60. So I think it's still looking quite good after quite a long range consolidation over here. Then breakout recently again. And then for Citigroup, yeah, also same thing, also just still trending well since the breakout of 96, 97. Yeah, some short-term support will be this around the 101, 102 level, then resistance around 105, 106. So in general, I think looking at the chart for the banks, I think all of them still showing very strong price action after the breakouts. And then yeah, just still trending very well after just continue on the uptrend. Then next one, I'll move on to the semicon sector next. So semicon also still also trending well since with this Philadelphia Semiconductor Index had a new high. So previous high was around 5,930. Then uh afterwards there was since the breakout of this range consolidation has been still trending well lah. So I still in terms of the index is still finding support along the 5 and 10 ME levels for now. Looks like possibly a bit of a sideways for now first. Since some slight pullback last week, but it's still holding this level. I think 6,190, this 10 MA as support. So we could see perhaps some sideways action for some resistance on 6,374 in the short term. Yeah, so maybe perhaps some sideways consolidation, but trend is still strong. Okay, next I'll move on into some of the individual semicon counters. So I think for first one, Nvidia. Yeah, so Nvidia was quite a bit of there was after the price surge last Monday on news, we tested the recent around 183, 184, then we seen a bit of a pullback. For now, I think for now we most probably see some sideways consolidation, but if can hold 175, then that will be better. Yeah, 175 will be around the 20 MA level as well as when they try to, as long as you can hold this downwards resistance line breakout, okay, then I think there could be a chance for you to try to test the resistance again. And so for now, a bit sideways. Last 3 days of the trading week last week, 180 was a bit of resistance. So if this we can try to break out again, then we could see some possibly a retest of 183 as well. Yeah, on the weekly, I think yeah, just holding the 510 ME levels again. Sorry, so we could see as long like 175 holds, which is also where you see the 510 MA on the weekly, then I think you could see some possible a retest of the highs again and try to see whether they can try to break out this prolonged range over here. Next one is AMD. So AMD, I think is just kind of moving sideways. Since the gap down over here, near the support price recovered, but still facing overall some resistance 164 this swing high. Then next one, there's also likely to be some resistance around 16. This is 168. There's also previously some resistance over here. So I think most likely will do a bit of a sideways kind of price action. Yeah. In terms of the weeklies, last week we tested the 10 MA weekly. Yeah, so there's 164 around there. Could be some resistance. Then I think most likely we could see some sideways kind of price action for now first. Yeah. Okay, next one, TSM. TSM is still very strong since the breakout of this 247 range consolidation price, just moving upwards strongly. Last week, some slight pullback, but still holding the 10 MA over here, 270 likely to be the support. Yeah, then I think we could see some rebound from this level over here to try to retest the swing high close to 286 again. So I think still holding very well in terms of the recent price action. It was a bit of pullback, but still holding the 10 MA levels. Yeah, so I think it's still definitely very strong the weekly, definitely trading above the 5 MA. Yeah. And next one, I'll move on is Broadcom. So for Broadcom, I think there's some weakness where price, I think in terms of since the breakdown of this like 359 level, price has kind of showed weakness along the way, where it's has been trending below the 5 MA level, and then this 335 level is quite important because this was since the gap out, this was the closing price, where there's some support, and then here it held as support as well before price moved higher. Then last week there was quite a lot of tests of this 335 level, but price can't seem to get above it. So if it continues to be below this 335 level, I think we could see some slightly further pullback ahead as well, since it's below the 5 MA, 10 MA, as well as the 20 MA for now. Then next one, if it does test the previous swing high over here, 370 likely to be the short-term support. Yeah. On the weekly, also we tested the 5 MA currently for around 334 for now for Broadcom. Okay, next one I'll talk about is ASML. So for ASML, I think it's still very strong since the breakouts. Price is just trending, I think showing trending along the 5 MA, then some slight pullback last week. I think support for now will be around this horizontal level 930 as well as this 10 MA levels. Then we could see some maybe consolidation, then possibly higher price again. So afterwards, uh, next resistance for ASML could be around maybe close to the 1000 level, the psychological level, as well as previously this was a bit of a key horizontal level, whereas there was some resistance and support previously. Yeah. And afterwards could be somewhere close to 1040 or 1050. There's previously a gap over here as well. So that's for ASML. Still trending very strong. Next one for Marvel, also currently showing some strength as well. So price since the recovery above this 69 level, a bit of a sideways over here, and then continue to show strength last week since it broke out above this 76 level and trending along the 5 MA. So for now, back to close to this, a bit of resistance over here, 81 to 85, these swing highs previously. So I think there could be some slight pullback following the recent rally as it's close to the bit of resistance. But I think price will still likely to still hold retest of the 5 and 10 short-term movement ranges. So some support, I think if there's some pullback, support could be around maybe 78, this level as well. So I think still looking good, but after a rally close to the swing high resistance, so there could be some sideways or a slight pullback. Then after this 85, the next key resistance will be somewhere close to around 94, $95, I think, based on previous historical levels. Okay, next one, Micron. So Micron, yeah, after the earnings, there was a bit of a gap down. Then currently below 5 and 10 ME, which was trending upwards and back to retest this previous swing high level around 156. So this level holding a while here. I think but short-term wise, there could be some resistance coming above from 162. If it does retest this 510 ME levels, it will be some short-term resistance. Next one is like around 167 is the next swing high resistance level. And so for now, maybe you could see perhaps some sideways kind of price action first if 156 can hold for now. Yeah, this is the hold for the trend to actually try to continue. If not, we could see maybe some further pullbacks towards somewhere close to 20 MA at the opening price of this gap up, which is somewhere close to 148 to 150 level. Okay, next one I'll talk about the last one, which is Intel's, which is also a lot of headlines recently. So for Intel, I think still very strong. Some slight pullback, then found support along the 5 MA, then continue go upwards. So very strong rally last week. I think for now there could be some resistance if it does test 36 to 37. This previous swing high level in mid-July last year. Then afterwards, the next key resistance for Intel will be I think 39 and 41. 41 will be quite a strong resistance because this was a range consolidation support breakdown previously. Yeah, so for now, I think still strong. I think likely to still face some support from the 5 ME for now. Then as it reaches close to 37, there could be some slight pullback or sideways starting to form after the recent strong rally for Intel. Okay, next one, I'll move on to the EV names. So first one, Tesla. I think Tesla is still holding very well. I think in terms of the horizontal levels, last week, price broke out this 426 level, and then this held in support, and price just did a bit of a sideways with some resistance around 445. Then in terms of the moving averages, also held the short-term MAs, where it did retest the 10 MA and then recovered quite well on Friday. So currently pre-market around 4. There's a bit of a gap up. So I think if we can clear 445, I think that we could still see a carry on of the trend upwards. Yeah, then based on the previous levels, end of last year, after 445, next resistance round will be 465, and then the previous all-time high around 488. Yeah, so I think still looking very strong over here for Tesla in terms of the price action, both in terms of the horizontal support resistance level as well as the MAs. Then next one for XPeng, yeah, sort of a bit of a rebound as a price held the 21 horizontal level, then a bit of a rebound. So I think could see maybe price try to test the resistance area again, like around 24 to 25 level again. Then maybe some pullback in from those levels. Then for new also, yeah, we tested close to the 770 swing high level over here. Then I think just doing a bit of a sideways action over here. So for this, I think it is to hold 670 this swing high level holding a support for now. 670 must continue to hold for this uptrend to continue. I think. Yeah, for now looks a bit sideways for now. The next one, last one for the EVs, I'll talk about is Rivian. So Rivian, I think, yeah, test of this multiple tests of this 1450 level. Finally, there was a breakout last week, and then the price continued to trend along the 5 MA. So I think we could still see price try to go towards the resistance previously, like close to 16 60 to this 1710 level lah. That we could face some resistance over there. Yeah, so let's see for the EV counters. Okay, then I'll go yeah. So that's it for the different sectors lah. Then I'll move on to the questions that you all have in the Q&A. So I see first one, okay, I'll talk about this one first. So it's talking about historically September is a bearish month, but it looks like it will not happen. How about October? Yeah, so uh yeah, you're right. Historically bearish September is a bearish month, but this year is bucked the trend. I think likely to close in the green, I think, for September. So for October, historically speaking, uh, in the first year of a presidential election cycle, uh, on average, that October averages like 0.9% is on average will we have a 0.9% loss in October. So I think if for the seasonality, there could be a bit of a pullback in October, but September it didn't follow the seasonality lah. So I think that one I think will still be a 50-50. But in terms of what I'll be looking at for the whether October will be a bit of a down one will be whether uh the S&P follows the continue holds the support level. Yeah, so for the I think for taking for reference for S&P, the key support level I'll be looking at is this yellow line, which is the 30 at SMA level, which has been holding as support along the way since end of June. And then as well as some of the key horizontal levels. So I think price needs to hold the breakout, most importantly like 6,500 over here, which previously was quite a bit of resistance. Yeah, so as long as it holds above 6,500, I think it should be still normal pullbacks along the way. Yeah, so that's how I'll be looking at. And also in terms of weekly wise, I think price should not fall below the weekly 10 MA. So in terms of if you're looking at in terms of the trend, it should be following that. Yeah. So yeah, let's see whether October will be a bearish one, but I think at most we'll probably see some slight pullbacks along the way. I don't think there'll be a huge crash those kind. Yeah. But that's why I feel. Okay, then I'll move to some of the uh questions that I have. First one is the ETHA, which is this iShares Ethereum Trust Ethereum Trust ETF. So I think there's a bit of a pullback recently in terms of the weekly wise, also currently below the 10 MA on the weekly. So I think this level, if it does retest around 32, there might be some resistance. The 10 MA weekly, also the 5 MA weekly is currently trending curling down as well. Then in terms of horizontal levels, price was moving kind of sideways in this range between like 31 to 36. Then some dip to test there was a bit of a dip to test like this 29 level over here. So I think we could see some afterwards there's a bit of rebound taking place, and I think we could see some resistance maybe around 32 this level, 32 onwards to 33, where previously this was a bit of a consolidation support, and then some of the short-term movement we just could hold as a bit of resistance in short term. So I think this 29 should hold up from this retest, but short-term wise, 32 around there might be some resistance. Also, both on the daily and weekly MAs. Then IBIT. Yeah, for IB, I think close to the swing low again, like this 61.30. So I think this should still hold as a bit of support. Then short-term resistance wise could be around 64. 64 was a swing low previously, and then over here was also a horizontal resistance where price moved upwards, then came back down again. And this is also concurrently the short-term movement averages 10 and 20 MA levels around here as well. So there could be some resistance around 64. So I'm thinking price might do still some sideways movement between 61 to 64 currently for this IBIT. Yeah, as it's quite close to this swing low support. The next one is on MSI. So for is Motorola Solution. So Motorola Solution, I think in terms of the trend has been there has been a change of the trend. So since the price broke down this 472 level, which was this previous resistance, as well as this recent the current support, the horizontal support level, and then the 20 MA level. Price turning down. So currently close to this swing low, I think it should still hold a support at 450 around there. I think this should serve as a bit of a support, and short-term resistance might come around the 5 MA for now, like maybe 460 around there. Yeah, in terms of the weekly last week also, yeah, just break down the 5 MA on the weekly, then testing the 10 MA. So yeah, I think 450 over here should hold as a bit of support in the short term, then resistance like probably 460s onwards. So it could be maybe some bit of a sideways in the short term. The next one is VBK. Yeah, for VBK, the small cap growth ETF, I think since it retested the previous all-time high like 302 over here, there's been a bit of a pullback recently. So back to test this horizontal level around 295. So this one still holding as a bit of support over now, some bounce. Yeah, excuse me. So I think 295 over here, retest of this horizontal level should hold as a bit of support. Doing a bit of a bounce for now, but resistance might come in around 300, which is this uh around the 5 and 10 MEs over here. And then also 300 to 302 was the around the breakdown level area recently. So I think for VPK we might see some sideways for now being like 295 to about 300 level. Yeah, next one for TLT, I think a bit of a pullback recently, but I think the previous resistance over here should hold as support. So previously, I think it was trading this range over here, then around 88 to around 88 to 89 was a bit of resistance. So now it's back at this level. I think it should hold at that area as a bit of support. Yeah. Then it could be doing a retest of the 5 MMPP as well for now. So I think over here, maybe some sideways as it gets close to this 89 level again. Then some resistance for now, I think will be like 90, where previously where price was a bit sideways over here at the highs. So I think maybe some range movements. And in terms of the inverse, if you look at the 20-year bond yield, I think the yield retested this swing low around 4.62. Then some resistance for now will be like 4.77, which was this horizontal support. There was a bit of breakdown, right? Retester and resistance. So I think if it's if this 20-year bond yield moves in a bit of range between like this 4.6 to 4.76 level, I think we could see a bit of a bounce in terms of the TLT. Then when the yield comes to the support again, then I think we could move in the range again for TLT. So most probably just some sideways. Yeah. Next one for United Health, I think it's still trending well. So since the United Health, since the breakout of this 310 level, price move continue the upwards movement, then I think for now currently just looks a bit sideways. But in terms of horizontal levels, it's still holding above this 322 as well, which was this previous horizontal resistance. And then also this 337, the previously there was this gap down, the highs over here holding as a bit of support. So I think it still holding well. As long as above 322, then should be still okay. Yeah, just moving a bit sideways for now, I think. Then in terms of the weekly MAs wise, you can see that the 5 MA also cut above the 20 MA as well. Then the price also holding well along the 5 MA weekly. So that's still quite okay. Yeah. And most probably some sideways. Most probably some sideways price action for now, I think. Yeah, then next one is Adobe. So Adobe, I think uh look a bit range for now, but I think it's still looking better. So in terms of if you look in terms of weekly, previously 510 MA level, it was resistance price was just trending downwards. Then after earnings, then we've seen 2 weeks in a row price uh holding above this 356 level, the 5 and 10 MA on the weekly. So that's a more positive sign. I think if you can continue to keep up the higher lows recently over here, then I think there could be a chance to break out this 360s level again. Then next resistance level will be around 375 over here, where it was a previous support level breakdown and turn into resistance. Okay, next one is Celsius. So for Celsius, I think currently some a bit of still showing some weakness now since the breakdown of this 58 level, then price has been trending downwards below the short-term moving average stuff. Yeah, for now, I think just the weekly wise, 55 to 57 around there could be some resistance based on the 510 MA on the weekly. It's also around this level 50s, yeah, 55 to 57. This level was like when price broke down from a bit of a consolidation as well over here. Yeah, so I think it's currently doing a retest, might find some resistance and maybe just do a bit of a pullback and move sideways. I think for now this week, 52 52.40 level, which price broke above on Friday should hold as a bit of support, but facing resistance around 56 onwards. So I think maybe some sideways movement for Celsius. Okay, next one, Enphase Energies. Yeah, for Enphase, I think on the weekly is just moving sideways with resistance here around $40 and support is around 36, around there. Yeah, so since it tried to break out of this downtrend channel over here, price is still moving sideways. And I think for now, I think if you can continue to hold this, it still looks pretty sideways. I think for now, you can hold this 30, 30 this 3550 level, then it'll be still okay. Yeah, for now just range bound. Then if you can continue for form this low, then try to retest this recent 40 level again. Then there could be a chance that afterwards it will break to 43.30. Yeah, but for now, I think most likely just trading sideways for now between 35 to this 40 level, I guess. Make up for essential, I think. Yeah, just moving sideways, the support from 232, I think in the past still holding. So 232 was like a previous double bottom back 2022, 2023. So this one recently still holding as support. Then, but I think really for the price to try to move upwards, you need to break out this downwards resistance line over here, as well as this horizontal resistance level 244 lah. Then you can try to test like maybe 253 next. Yeah, but for now still looks pretty sideways unless you can break out of some of these resistance levels. Now the weekly itself still below this 5 and 10 MA levels, which has been holding as resistance since end of June. Yeah. Next one for Chipotle Mexican Grill, I think it's holding the support level around 39.40, still holding around there. And short term wise, I think still pretty sideways, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Because I think for now, the weekly 10 MA should be still resistant. I think if you try to break out the 5 MA, yeah, around 41 there should be still resistance, which is also like the breakdown of this swing low level previously around 41. So I think most likely just range bound trading between 39 to 41 for Chipotle currently. Okay, next one is Duolingo. So Duolingo, I think is holding 275 support and just I think more so this one also moving sideways. 275 to 330. 330 previously was this uh previous quite a key horizontal level was like resistant in the past and then turned into a support and breakdown. So now I think this will still hold as resistance. So expecting price to just move sideways for now. Also, they are currently to be testing the weekly 10 MA level. Okay, hi David, your counters is Alibaba and Baidu. Okay, so this one the two leaders in terms of the Hong Kong market recently. So for Alibaba, I think so Alibaba after a strong run, I think some slight pullback, but price structure is still very well, still very good lah. So I think as long as it holds the 10 MA, which is currently around 164, which is also the breakout level from this consolidation, 163, 164. This is the key level to hold for this upwards trend to continue. Yeah, for now, maybe I think still a good trend. Just some slight pullback, a bit of rebound from the 5 MA today. And I think uh should still I think at most sideways or could continue from higher highs. Yeah, I think should be okay. As long 163, 164 still holding. Next key resistance, let me see, upwards should be I think close to 187. Yeah, based on previous levels. Then for Baidu, I think it's also still very holding well as also still holding well. We tested 130 for 135 previously was a level. I think moving a bit sideways for now. Yeah, I think it's just probably doing a bit of a consolidation after a strong rally. Still holding the 10 MA today. Yeah, I think for now, if you try to break above, if it breaks above 135 again, then I think we could see another wave upwards. Then the next resistance will be around I think close to 144, 145 based on previous swing high. The next one is on Novo Nordisk. Yeah, so for Novo Nordisk, I think yeah, this one last week pullback towards this previous level around here. So I think 53 to 55, this area should be a bit of a support over here. Yeah, previously around 52.70 was this swing low. So I think at this level there should be some support coming in for some slight bounce, but I think some resistance for now is around 58 around there. So it could be just a bit of a sideways movement. Next one, Lululemon, I think yeah, this one moving sideways with some reserve of 176, but looking better as previously there was a bit of resistance after the earnings came down at 168, and this has still held as support over here. So a bit of a consider a bit of a higher low and also around 10 for now. So if you can hold 168 over here, then there could be some chance to trend a bit higher. Yeah, if you can break above like 177, 178 again. Yeah, on the weekly, the resistance might come from the 10 MA weekly, which is currently 188, and could be coming down a bit. So I think for now maybe some sideways and could move a bit higher, but could still face resistance like from uh, some of the previous levels above like 186 previously was this single support that might turn to resistance. The next one, Fortinet, some range bound but looking better as price is currently above 81 and still above this 81 resistance, still holding above that. Yeah, so if can continue hold 81, then I think it's still looking better and could be moving towards the next resistance hour could be around 89, I think. 89, 90 around there. Next one is Salesforce CRM. Yeah, for Salesforce, I think it's just still uh, moving quite sideways. The support, the strong support level over here, around 233 is still holding. Then but still have a bit of a lower high slightly over here. Then generally, I think like 250 to this to 257 still recent. So I think price just moving kind of sideways for now. Nothing much going. I think. Yeah, then on the weekly itself, still facing some resistance, both from the 5 and 10 minute about 249 on there. So those a bit range bound, I guess. Next one, Moderna also range bound. Just the support is still holding around like 2330. Then recently price there's still resistance like above 26, which is previous breakdown level. So I think still looks pretty much like we're speaking like 23 to 26 for now first. Anyhow, made 3067 is the iShares Hang Seng Tech ETF counter. So I think for this one I think still very good lah. Like because it's just forming a lot of range and then breakout, and then also above this previous recent high already, like the around 12.7. So we could try to go towards the next resistance So previously, I think the next key recent level close to 13.8, $14 around here, like 2021, 2021 levels. Then for now, I think it's just some sideways above the above the recent highs 12.7, then 13.8 around there's some reason. So I would think for this Hang Seng Tech, probably some sideways movement for now. And next one, 3690 Meituan, I think be one of the weaker counters in the Hong Kong market. In terms of weekly, it's still pretty weak as I think likely to face, it's still facing resistance around the 5 and 10 MA in the weekly. Then currently, weekly 10 MA is 109. Yeah, then I think for now it still looks kind of just sideways with resistance like 109 around there. And support is about 100 around there. So pretty much sideways. Next one is on Bristol Myers Squibb. Okay, so for this, I think it looks pretty much a range, quite well-defined range bound over here. Support like 43, around 43.50, then resistance, strong resistance is like around 48, 49. So back to around the support level, probably could see a bit of a bounce over here. Yeah, then short term, some resistance might come at around, I think 45 around there, which is like a horizontal level as well as a, yeah, around the 10 MA, 20 MA levels, 45 to 46. Yeah, so we could possibly see some bounce at this support level again. Next one is Infosys Limited. So I think this one also moving kind of range bound of just generally between like 1630 to the recent like 1750. So yeah, below 1630, the next support will be like around 1590 and then 1560 over here. And yeah, so I think for now this one will be still pretty much range bound. I think nothing much. Okay, next one is on GE Healthcare, Carrier, and RTX. Okay, for GE Healthcare, I think it's pretty much a range kind of counter. Yeah, back when the strong support is around like $70 around here, then resistance is 77, 78. So back at this level, uh, yeah, over here I think we could maybe see some sideways because in terms of downside wise, I think not much for now. 69, 70 is the support and tested like on Thursday last week, and some resistance for now like 74, most likely 74 to 75 over here might be most likely be resistance. So I think most probably still sideways for GE Healthcare, which it has been pretty much sideways since May this year as well. Next one for Carrier Global, I think it's still trending downwards. Yeah, still holding along the 5 MA, 10 MA, just moving downwards since breakdown of I think this 61 horizontal level. So I think we could see maybe price go continue the downwards trend until we test the next support, which is around 57, I think close to 57 over here. The next one is around 50, close to 55. So I think so still a steady downtrend. Yeah, then for RTX, I think it's doing well. I think yeah. So RTX, I think it's yeah. Today there's a bit of a gap up above this trend line resistance 168 for now. So I think most likely we see the trend continue to go upwards. I guess. Yeah, since it has been an uptrend. Okay, hijack your counter is COPART. Yeah, so for this, I think pretty is it's a bit of range for now. So between like 45 to around 50. Yeah, I think at the support area again over here there might be some. I think it's at the support for now. So there could be some bounce over here. And then short term resistance, I feel short term resistance might be close to like 47, somewhere about there. Yeah, so I think we could still just move in a bit of a range for now. Yeah, 45 to 47. Then below 45, the next strong support is around $43. Previous previous range support level. Okay, next one is a question on call with. Yeah, for call with, I think the price action for on Thursday and Friday not very good because okay, the breakout of this downward recent line still holding, and previously price was trending along this 5 MA, and also 125 was on Wednesday was resistance and support, but afterwards we see some weakness in terms of the price. Yeah, and we currently below the 10 MA as well. So I think price might do some further pullback this week to maybe test 115 this swing low over here and somewhere around this downwards resistance line as well. Yeah, so I think for call with some weakness towards the end of the week where it is below the short-term moving averages, also 125 also break down as well. Okay, hi MS Feng. Your question is on the STI. Yeah, so let's take a look. Yeah, for STI, there's some it has been showing a bit of weakness since mid-September. Pull back to retest this previous resistance like 4,000, around 4270 around there. So I think over here there might be some bounce, I guess, because it's the on the weekly chart is the retest of the 10 MA already. And yeah, I think there's been quite a bit of a pullback from the highs and also use previous horizontal resistance. So I think we could see some slight bounce over here, but I think resistance will be around 4,300 about that. So probably some range over there. Okay, any comments on trends around China Golden Week? Given the strong rally in China markets, trying to get a sense on whether rally still have room to run. Also, technicals on Hong Kong pop stock. Okay, I guess you're referring to pop mark if you're. Yeah, so for the, I think yeah, Golden Week, I think the break is quite long for China markets, probably 1 week. So I think after the run, I think in terms of the Hang Seng, yeah, this one I'm looking at the futures for now. I think it's quite high already. For now, it's the back to this trend line resistance, just moving sideways. So I think now for the golden week is quite near, so I think most probably I think it could be some range bound now, where I think maybe some traders will not take up new positions ahead of this long break. And then since the market is also at the highs as well, they might be looking to take some people might be looking to take a bit of profit at the highs as well. That's my take. Yeah, so I think most likely will be a bit sideways. Then I think they will see again how is it after the holiday. Yeah, so I think rally still has room to run in terms of the price action is still very strong now. Where the dips is still holding at the above previous resistance, and then at the short term MAs, yeah, just looks like I think it's just healthy pullback after a strong rally and just moving sideways. Then the question on top let's take a look. Yeah, so for Poma, I think for now there's since the breakdown of 285, there's a bit of weakness lah, but price is just most likely just trending a bit sideways for now. I would think the strong support, if it dips a bit lower, will be somewhere close to 235, which was previously like two times swing low over here. Yeah, then the short term wise, looks a bit sideways lah, where price holding some support around 253 for now. Then resistance likely to be around like 275 to 283. And in terms of the weekly wise, yeah, 277, 282 MA, 510 MA on the weekly will be some resistance as well. Previously, the price was holding quite well above this short term weekly MAs as well. And now it's just moving a bit, holding around the 20 MA on the weekly. Okay, next one is on Singtel. Okay, I think the uptrend is still very strong. I think it's just a bit of a pullback since price was consolidating at the highs. At the high, then a bit of a breakdown below the support level, which is this 428. Then, but I think this previous range resistance, like around 408, 409 around there, should still hold as a bit of support. Even the price is still on an uptrend, and yeah, then this was previous resistance, could see a bounce over here. The next one, Semiconductor Industries, I think for this is, I think, consolidating sideways between like 603 to 618. Yeah, but still not much strength coming in. After previously where I saw it was testing the 200 MA, then just moving sideways, but price has unable to try to break above the 618 resistance to try to do a rebound, and then just moving sideways. So if it continues to hold below like 605, 606, this breakdown over here, then I think we could see maybe price show some better weakness to test like 595, the swing low again, yeah, or trend lower, because now still no strength coming in for this counter yet. Okay, I'll take the last two questions on Palantir and BYD. Hi, boost though. Yeah, so I think for Palantir, I think for now the rebound trend is still okay. Price is still holding the 10 MA daily as support. Currently it's around 177 now, so it looks like moving a bit sideways for now. With some resistance at like 182, 183 which was also this previous a horizontal level previously when price sideways at the highs. So for now still sideways, but I think as long as can hold this 10 MA for now 176, 177, then I think there could be still a chance for the trend for this upwave to just continue upwards to try and possibly retest 190 again. Yeah, so for now I'm looking a bit sideways. But if as long as 176 here is still holding, I think there's still a chance to try to retest the 190 highs. Yeah, then below that, if it fails, then the next support will be around like 169 then to 171 again, this area. Then as for BYD, yeah, BYD I think is back at the support area again. So previously around 104, 105 here is the support. So I think most likely just a bit of a range range bound, with some resistance at 112, 113 because there's a previous support. Still have resistance, still showing some weakness overall since the pullback from May. Yeah, where previous support still holding a resistance, but I think this range could still hold for a while, like 105 to 112 over here. Okay, I'll stop here for today. I think there's still some questions in the Q&A. Sorry, it's about 9:15. Then I don't have due to time constraint, I can't take all of them. But thanks for all your questions today. Let me just stop sharing my screen. Then I'll leave some links in the chat. Yeah, just give me a moment. Yeah, so I've dropped a link. There's a survey form that you can fill in to give your feedback, so I can improve your experience further. If you like today's session, you can leave a good feedback as well. I'll appreciate that. Thanks. And also, if you're new or you haven't joined, there's also a link to join the Podium 3 community on TA if you haven't. So if you have any questions, you can just post over there and I'll answer when I see them as well. And similarly, if you're new or haven't joined the Poems Telegram group, this is the Telegram handle at Poems TA. So I brought that in the chat as well, and just feel free to join our post TA content over there. If you have any questions, you can ask over there as well. Yeah, so I think that's all for today's session. Thanks for your attendance and also for your questions. And I hope you all have a good trading week ahead. There's a lot of data this week, and also I think crucially on Friday will be the non-farm payrolls. So that one will be important to know. So that's all for today, and I hope to see you on the next session. Good night, everyone. Thanks. Bye bye.